Hi guys, welcome to Full Time Devils. I'm Adam McCullough outside Old Trafford, where Manchester United have beaten Crystal Palace 2-0 thanks to an own goal from Delaney and Darmian's excellent half volley in the second half to wrap up that victory and give us 3 points. It was a professional performance by Manchester United. Wasn't amazing by any stretch of the imagination, and Crystal Palace were poor on the day, probably with one eye on their semi-final on Sunday against Watford, but United can only beat what's put out in front of them, and we did just that. Got that early goal through the own goal after Darmian's great cross was put into the back of his own net by Delaney. And United controlled the game. We had more shots. We looked like we wanted to score more goals, and we were creating opportunities in the first half. And it was a good first half performance. Unfortunately, we couldn't get that second goal to make it more comfortable, and we had to wait until the second half to get that. Darmian, after a corner was cleared, dropped to the edge of the box, took one touch on his chest, off the bounce, bang, in off the post. Great strike. I think I've seen him done similar for Italy, and we saw Varela do similar for the under-21s yesterday. So it was a great goal to see from Darmian. A goal and an assist for him, which would probably win him my man of the match. We had a couple of more impressive, let me put my teeth back in, impressive performance by Reds today though. Antonio Valencia had another good game at right back, which means will we play Fosu Mensah or Antonio Valencia on the weekend against Everton? Darmian, another good game at left back. Smalling and Blind at centre half were untroubled. Morgan Schneidlin at the heart of that midfield, excellent again. And we only played one DM today. Why haven't we done that more often? When we played against teams like Norwich, West Brom, West Ham here, even PSV Eindhoven, we've only played the two central defensive midfielders. That's frustrated me. Why haven't we played the one more often? We've seen what can happen when we do that. And today I thought that was a big reason in why we looked better going forward. Wayne Rooney just ahead of Schneidlin, excellent again with some of his through balls, and I think that's a position where we need to see him more often. I'm not sure whether that's where we need to see him week in, week out, as I do think we have other good number 10s in the team, but playing just ahead of the defensive midfielder, he picked the ball up while he was battling for all the balls, and some of his passing was excellent again. And with the likes of Martial, Rashford, Lingard running off him, they can create the dangers and the dangerous positions for him to find them, create danger for the opposition defences and allow Wayne Rooney to find them, and it was easier for him. When he's playing as that main man, that main number 9 up top, and his back's to goal, the ball's coming into his feet, defences are able to push up, it means that United are playing in a much more confined space, and we find it more difficult to break teams down. But when we got those youngsters spreading the pitch and running out wide and running in behind, and then Wayne Rooney is able to sit there, boom, with the passes, it works for him, and it's a lot better to see him in that kind of role. As I was saying, though, Rashford again, excellent today. Marshall, some of his movement was good. You just hope sometimes he's a little bit more greedy and just has a bang a bit more. But again, professional performance, good result, 2-0, happy with that, and it keeps the pressure on Man City and Arsenal just ahead of us. I still think we need to win all 4 of our remaining games if we have any hope of finishing in the top 4, but we're going in the right direction. And ahead of the game against Everton on Saturday at Wembley in the semi-final, it was just what the doctor had ordered. Slight negative note was the red seats that we saw, not only towards the end of the game, but at the start of the game as well. I mean, going in, there was a huge crowds outside Old Trafford as they were doing searches, and I thought maybe that's why there's a few more red seats, empty seats more than usual. And as 10-15 minutes had gone and more people had come in and then it settled down, you thought there's still blocks of seats here empty. And I think maybe that's a sign of the fact that some fans are voting with their feet and they're not happy with the football that Louis van Gaal's playing. Me personally, regardless of the football that's being played or who's our manager, whether I'm happy with him or not, I'm still going to go through them turnstiles and support Manchester United. But some people are different, and I think maybe if it's a case of some people have voted with their feet today and thought, I'm not happy with this football, I'm not turning up, I can't be arsed midweek, Wednesday night against Crystal Palace, you know what, I can't be arsed. And if some people have thought that, and we begin to see lower attendances because of the football Louis van Gaal has us playing, then the Glazers will sit up and take notice, because we know that's all they care about is money. Ed Woodward, Malcolm Glazer and his family, all they care about is money. And we know as soon as they see them empty seats, they'll start to sit up and take notice. So if that was because of the football and fans voting with their feet, then it'd be interesting to just pay a little more attention to that as the season goes on. But as I was saying, cannot wait for Wembley on Saturday, and I'm sure there will not be an empty seat in sight. Anyway, guys, see you later.